Hi, I'm Craig. That's my brother Brad. Welcome to Weekdays with Craig and Brad.
Life is hard, but you can't give up. Let's have a conversation. Weekdays, we're gonna make it today. Weekdays with Craig and Brad.
Episode 64. We made it.
64.
Yep.
Party.
I got to be honest. The first 63 episodes were pretty good.
Yeah,
but
they
this
were all
one
right.
just feels right. Just feels right.
Tonight feels like this is the one that just everything comes together.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
times.
It's a big show. It's a big show tonight. I said that in the last show. I want every show to be a big show, like Conan O'Brien comes out every night. We got a big show tonight. It's gonna be great. We don't have a lot of guests, but it's gonna be great.
Zero
guests.
I'll tell you what, man, I'll tell you this. If you made it this far on the podcast, if you made it a minute 15 in, hit the subscribe button. We'd love to welcome you in. And we do this every single Monday through Friday. That's why it's called Weekdays with Craig and Brad. Also, comments are great. Thumbs up. Amazing. Speaking of thumbs up, Brad, there's a rumor flying around that Larry is getting another thumb.
Our pal Larry is going crazy with his thumb additions the last 2 weeks, which is great. It means our channel's getting some attention. People are doing the old thumbs up-a-rooey on the YouTube channel. And that's Larry's purpose. He lives for this. This is true. So Larry has been sitting at 11.5 thumbs up the last couple days. Every time we beat our thumbs up record, Larry gets a new thumb, and he's sitting with 11.5 thumbs at this point. If you don't remember, the half thumb was when we made it to 149 thumbs up. We didn't quite get to our goal of 150, but he got half of a thumb. That'll never happen again, but he's got half of a thumb because of that. So Larry's got 11.5. As I said, we're going to add a new thumb to him today, putting him at 12.5. He was saying last time, this is getting ugly.
Yeah, you know what it is? I'll tell you exactly what it is. It's the one on his cheek. That's the one that's making it bad. Like if Larry was to
that one.
Yeah, if Larry was to get that one removed, you know, he'd be all right, but the cheek one is the one that's really pushing it over the edge.
Yeah. Well, you know, as I was putting on Larry's 12th thumb today, I was thinking about how this is the most disgusting part of our show, because every time I see this guy, he used to look fine back in the old 1-2 thumbs days, but the more he gets on there, they're just starting to look like he's holding a bunch of wieners. It's looking weird.
You know, hey, whatever. You know, if that's what people want to do, that's fine. But you know,
it's not what anybody wants to do. And I don't want to. I don't know. I'm just getting scared every time I got to do this. You know, so
you're saying this isn't a picture of a real person?
This is misinformation, Craig.
Oh, I'm sorry, my fault. That's the theme of today's show.
Yeah. This is misinformation. Just so we're clear, I just want to make sure, in case anybody shares this on Facebook or Twitter at any point, this guy, Larry, he doesn't actually have 11.5, soon to be 12.5 thumbs. I do this in Photoshop, and I just want to put that on record. So anybody, so we don't get reported.
I also would like to point out, we don't even know if this guy's name is really Larry.
Oh, that's true. That's also misinformation.
That's right.
We're 4 minutes into our show, and we've already reached max misinformation levels.
Non-stop.
Well, let's go ahead and get him his new thumb today.
Okay.
And let's have a drum roll, please, if we could. And now, the world premiere of Larry's new thumb, moving from 11 to 12.5 thumbs. 3, 2, 1.
Oh no!
Now, listen.
The cheek was bad.
If you thought the cheek was bad,
no.
old Larry's got one on his nose now. And listen, when I when I look at this picture, I don't just see a stagnant picture of an old man with a whole bunch of thumbs. I'm thinking about if this was right in front of me in real life, not only does this guy look just insanely creepy, like he came from the depths of the worst place possible, but I imagine his thumbs like moving.
Oh, no, I'm not even going to look at that right now. No,
Makes it
no,
way worse. So
no.
yeah, like I said, Dylan last night, my son Dylan, he saw Larry on my computer screen. It's like, what is that? And I was like, it's nightmares. Don't look. And it's becoming nightmarish. I got to admit.
Well,
It started out as a good idea to get
Yeah.
people to do a thumbs up, but at this point, it's like, oh gosh, I don't
Now,
know.
let me tell you this much when it comes to Larry. Brad and I, excuse me, we're talking, and the thumbs up actually have a bigger importance right now because he's sitting at 12 and a half thumbs up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
When he hits 15 and a half thumbs up, we will put Larry out of his misery.
Yes. Give the video a thumbs up so we can get him. What do we need? 3 more thumbs. And look, Larry might just have to head on out to pasture.
No, he will be.
Yeah.
I'm going to hand him a shotgun and help him put it in his mouth.
When we started Larry,
and he can use all his thumbs.
When we started Larry, listen, I thought this will be interesting to see where it goes. And then about like 3 thumbs ago, I was like, oh, this isn't going to end well. So we'll see. But just go ahead, keep on doing it, and then we'll think of something new to do. We'll keep, But yeah, thumbs everywhere, all the time, out your neck, out your nose, in your ear. Right. Everywhere.
Knows he's just going to eventually turn into a thumb, and it's bad news for poor old Larry.
Yeah.
All absolutely. Right. Well, hey, nice shirt, by the way. Danny Tanner. Let's go.
Thanks. Yeah. No, DJ Tanner. This isn't Danny Tanner. Danny Tanner was her dad.
Oh, that's right. Man,
no, it says DJ Tanner on it, and she's a DJ.
I like it. Which is the irony of that, because her sister actually becomes the DJ in Fuller House.
That's right. That's true. That's some good trivia.
That's not. Man, my eye. I don't know. I guess it's
oh no! Don't let the eye control the show, Craig.
I know it's crazy. I'm sorry. Golly. Okay.
Well, I'll tell you what. If you like this shirt, check out 80stees.com. I plug them all the time.
We are not sponsored by 80s Tees.
No, we're not. We're not at all. But I love the website, and I'll give them a plug.
All right. Listen, also super important. You guys have been outstanding on the comments lately. Tons of comments. They've helped so much grow the show. Let's continue it on. We got the Al Gore rhythm song later coming up. But right now it's time for
the YouTube comment of the day.
This one coming from longtime friend Titations, saying, "I think people get mad at you guys because you don't pick a side when people are supposed to choose a side." It's hilarious. Hey, thanks, Titations.
You get it.
See, just trying to figure it out. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How many points?
Titations gets 97.3233 points.
Ooh, a decimal point. That's new.
Going along with Titations names. So
cool. That's great. That's a customized decimal point. You can't get those anywhere else. Those are exclusive.
That's right. So make sure you use them all at one time. Okay. Congratulations, Titations. You win
the YouTube comment of the day.
Wonderful. Okay, so we're gonna have I don't know how long today's show is gonna last, but I will tell you this: if you're watching over on YouTube, once again coming up on Monday, we are going to be live for the first time on YouTube. We stream usually around 8:30, 9 o'clock in the evening, and we'll record the show live. And I don't know if the show is going to be just on YouTube after that, or if I'm going to re-upload it the following day. I don't know. I'm still figuring these things out. So who knows? It's usually not a good idea to release a full podcast like at 8 o'clock at night. But we'll figure something out.
We'll figure it out. I'm excited to see what happens because the Twitch audience is great. You guys have been really great and calm, cool, and collected. And YouTube's been about the same, pretty good, but we've had some rebel rousers in there trying to stir some things up. So it'll be great to see it. It'll be like what's the old movie with the Sharks versus the Jets? West Side Story. Yeah, it's gonna be. What you doing here, man?
Yeah, that'll be good.
I'm just trying to watch Weekdays.
Now I'll tell you this: it was funny watching the premiere of today's episode, and some people just, they don't want to hear what we're saying. They want to hear what they're thinking, right? And that kind of goes on with what Tatations was saying, right? But with that said, someone was kind of bad. They said something like, "Oh, Craig, you effing idiot!" in the chat. Something on those, something like that. They said that in the live premiere in the chat, and I was like, "Oh, did you need something?" And they're like, "Oh, hey, how are you?" It was one of those things where it's like, you just say that, and
I didn't know you were standing there.
Yes,
but
it was nice.
That's funny. I can't believe somebody said that on the internet. That's unbelievable. Crazy. Well, look, what are we doing?
Tonight's show is about going to Mars.
Yeah.
I'm just learning about this. I saw some video of this, but I didn't know, apparently we went to Mars earlier this week or something. Catch me up.
Well, yeah, they sent a new little Mars car out there, and it's landed, and it's taking pictures, and it's sending back information now. And I've had an experience with a lot of friends on my Facebook page sharing this and sharing a lot of space pictures, not specifically Mars pictures, trying to relate to Mars, but I keep seeing certain pictures pop up, and I've been like, now wait a minute, hold up. Some of these don't seem right. And so we'll get to talking about that. And we'll go down the list of some of my own. I became a fact checker this morning, an internet professional fact checker.
Really? Can you verify on YouTube and Twitter and Google that you are indeed a fact checker?
I think you just say it. I think you just say it, and then you are one. So
that would be really good. We should start a fact checking business and see if we can approach YouTube about fact checking things. And just be like, yeah, that's right.
We could be we turn weekdays into fact checking with Craig and Brad.
There you go. Yeah, that'd be
it's just like
a great show.
8 hours a day of us searching the internet, and our faces just like leaned up into the camera. We're just like looking. It'd be pretty boring, but look, we'll do some of that. We'll do some of that tonight. So yeah, that's where we're at. What's next on the agenda here? Are we going to get straight into that, or you want to talk about our one of our segments that we like to do?
You can just lead into it. Go ahead.
We have a segment that we've been doing the last couple of weeks called "What Are We Doing?" And I got one for you today. Would you like to see it?
It's time for everyone's favorite segment in the world ever made right now. The epitome of life. At least asking, what the heck are we doing?
What are we doing, Craig? I just saw this before I signed on for this podcast. I'm going. Look, I shared one a few episodes ago, or a few what the heck are we doing segments ago. I shared a kid playing saxophone in high school, and his saxophone was covered up with this thing because of the whole COVID situation. And it was like, what are we doing? Well, this school was like, no. You're not going to be looking like a fool covering up your instrument like that. You're not going to put a bag over your instrument. This school decided, we'll put you guys all in tents. Now, if you think that this is funny, check this out.
You have more? Oh.
He's got a tuba in a tent.
Oh, man.
Tuba in a tent. Okay, this is embarrassing for our brains to admit that this is how we think we solve problems. Okay, I'm sorry. This is my opinion at this point. Okay, what are we doing? This is not the solution. By any means, by any stretch, is this helping anything?
Wow.
But it is it's very sad to my heart.
That is absolutely fascinating stuff.
Fascinating. Because I see this and I go, is this the new normal? Is this where we're at? Is this what the new normal looks like? It looks like tubas and tents in high school band. There it is.
I can't imagine. I can't imagine. It sounds really good.
Like the music teacher's like, everybody get in your assigned numbered tint, because they all have numbers on them.
Well, of course.
And he was like, what tint did you get? Oh, I got tint number 29. Oh no. And then they're like, Steven from the last period always farts in there. You don't want that one.
No,
Let me sterilize him.
I bet, you know what? I bet this is something that they assign each person a tent, and they have to bring it in. They put it in their locker. They probably don't even use lockers right now because everyone's scared of touching things, even though it's been proven that this doesn't like spread through touching, right? So,
Yeah.
or is that misinformation? I don't know.
You think that this is they have to pay for their own tent and they bring it? Maybe
I don't know.
Like they got to do a fundraiser.
I don't know.
Sell Chick-fil-A sandwiches in the morning like our band did. They're like, we got to have a COVID tent fundraiser.
Alan, this has to be a joke. Friend, this is not a joke.
This can't be a joke. This can't be fake because it's in the details. If this was a joke, they would have set up the tent and taken pictures, but they have numbers on them, which means there's effort involved here. They're keeping track of this stuff. Look, 12, 39, 43. I am in pod number 29. And look, it's creative, I guess.
Is it?
That's not. No, it's not. It's just insanity
It's
to
sad.
the maximum level.
It's sad. That's what it is. It's sad. Let's just be very real about it. It's extremely sad. That's what it is. I'm doing a quick YouTube Google search or DuckDuckGo search for single person band tent or tent band, and I can't find anything.
Oh no, I don't even know what kind of tent that is. I've never seen that in my life. That looks like something you'd take on camping or something, but who sleeps standing up?
I don't know.
Like there's no room in there to do anything. What is the purpose of that tent except for high school band practice?
Daddy Quack says, this isn't real. Not really happening. Sorry, friend. Sorry, friend. No. You know, I did actually see one of those at a soccer tournament. And I think the idea is that it's meant to,
the mosquito net
ward you off from the environment.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's
isn't that what everything is supposed to do right now?
And Daddy Quack says, if you believe it is happening, but it's staged photos like most news. Oh, look at that. Look at that. They were staging.
That's from the school of George Costanza, the old Seinfeld episode where he goes, if you believe it, it isn't a lie. Or it's not a lie if you believe it. But here's the deal. Whether this is staged, whether this is real, there's a picture of it. Somebody thought to do it. And
I don't know. Is there a school associated with these pictures? Like,
yeah, there is. This is popping up on Twitter right now, and I haven't had a chance to fully jump into it. But first I saw this picture and I was like, oh my gosh. But then I saw this kid and I'm like, what are we doing? I don't have any other reaction to that.
Right.
Other than just like you put a kid in a tuba with a tuba in a tent.
Well, I mean, we've talked about COVID a million times on here. We probably spent a week talking about it on different shows, but it's been so fascinating to see, like, now there's some schools in the North Texas area that, my kids are in kindergarten and third grade, right? And now when they go to school, they have these, they have the things surrounding their desks, right? While they're still wearing masks, and their teachers have masks on, and they've never seen their teacher's face all year, but they have a pin on them so they can know what they look like. Think about how bizarre that is for a kindergartner, anyone in elementary school, to the idea of like, well, I don't really know what my teacher looks like, but I have seen her face on a picture on her shirt, and it's really bizarre. But now there's a selling point. There's some private schools in the area that are saying, like, look, next year there will be no masks. Like, we're not doing masks. We're not doing them.
They're just done with it.
Yeah, this is something that like private schools are selling down here. The idea that like, look, we're not doing it. We're not going to do it. And they've seen an uptick because people are tired of it. So
yeah. Well, that's the question: is how long do we keep trying to make compromises like this? And what's your, I've asked this, what's your threshold? Is this the new normal that you want for our kids? Forget the daily corporate life. If you're going to your job and you gotta wear a mask all day, you're a grown up. That's one thing, but think about the children, will ya? That's all.
There you go.
That's all. That's where we're at.
I saw Trusty Warner says things like this make me okay with not raising a child right now. Well, we're raising children right now, and
Lots of people are.
Yes,
still happening.
It's a thing. Oh man,
for sure.
CDI says I can't wait till my kid goes to kindergarten in September. Man, I hope to God that this is over by September. And like at least in Texas, schools have been open. It's been more of an inconvenience than anything else, right? I feel like I need to preface every time we talk about COVID. I believe COVID is a real thing. I think it's killed 500,000 people. I think that I think all this stuff is real, right? But it's from a going to school standpoint, the way school has happened and the setup that the girls are in, the district that the girls are in. It's so, there's a million high schools. There's a million, so they have to make rules that are truly a broad stroke. We talk about you can't paint with broad strokes, but you have to do a one size fits all for literally everybody. And this is a school system that has, 20,000 kids in it, from all walks of life. And it's crazy. It's bizarre.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing is you've got, this subconscious thing getting drilled into the kids where you're 5 or 6 years old and you're checking for a wallet, right? Like you're like, oh, where's my mask? Where's my thing? And you know what? Let me try to pull this up real quick while we're talking about it. This was almost the what are we doing for today? This is, and you talk about getting it into our kids' brains. This is a shirt that sold to little girls, social distancing expert. And you're training them to what? Social distance? Like these are important times for our children to be learning how to communicate with one another, not get further away and not just get further away, but brag about it and flaunt it. For those asking, it's Wenatchee High School in Washington State.
No,
is where those where tuba in a tent kids are. So that's where we're at.
Nice. Well, thank you. It's funny. Astronerd says probably going to be wearing masks into early 2022. Current model shows herd immunity with vaccines will reach in February 2022. I actually pulled this up while I saw that. This is from the New York Times. Take it for what it is. This is the estimated path to herd immunity. This has it set for looks like August. July, August. Towards the tail end of the year here, whenever herd immunity is, whatever the hell that is, whatever, So, so yeah, that's kind of what it looks like. So,
what is there a certain number for herd immunity?
It's like, I think the idea is that it's once you reach like 70% of immunizations, then the idea is that like 30% of the population has had it so far. So
that's assuming they don't move the goalpost by the time we're almost there. Like, well, we're going to shoot for 100% now.
Yeah. Well, who knows?
We'll see.
Who knows? And that's, like I said, who knows? Nobody knows. So that's the crazy. Tai says, have you two been vaccinated? Nope. I've not been vaccinated. I don't have the opportunity to get vaccinated. I'm not in, actually, I hadn't even looked into it. If I'm being absolutely.
Well, I have a friend that posted today and he said, I see a lot of friends our age sharing pictures that they've been vaccinated, but his parents are still waiting to get vaccinated. If that's something you want to do, and there's a much bigger group of people out there that are susceptible, that want it. And if that's your thing, I've got my feelings about it. They can, if you want it, you can have mine for right now.
Some dumb one says, it's worrying as a parent how this will affect my kids' social skills. Oh my gosh, absolutely. Not just social, but mentally, that's the thing that we've gone on, that I've talked about forever, is like, yes, it's horrendous. This has been a global pandemic. 500,000 people in the United States have died. It's been horrible, right? But how many more people have been affected, from a emotional, mental standpoint? It literally, every single person has been affected from this in a negative, like, there's nothing positive about this, except for the guys who have cleaned up,
Yeah.
from
Yeah, there's a lot of invested interest at this point. A lot of people making money that weren't making money before this. So they're probably wanting to keep this up. That's just my take on it. If you had a business that was kind of, just take the mask industry. We were selling certain amount before 2020 hit, and they knew every year, like, well, we just hit it. We've got what we expect. Then 2020 hits,
right.
skyrocketing mask sales. They probably want to keep those numbers up. I'm just saying, if you're a business and your numbers are up, that's your job. You've got to beat that goal every year. And they had a pretty successful 2020. I tell you what.
Wow. Okay. So this is simply just a headline I read, and if this is accurate, that's crazy. This was sent out. This was from March 2020. So who knows, whatever this. This is a while ago.
Mm-hmm.
Face mask market to surpass $21.2 billion by 2026.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
and what was what were they making in the year 2019?
Yeah.
What were mask sales in 2019? So it's an industry now. Like, masks are an industry. They're an emoji, so they're ingrained in our culture within a year. And now, we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't want to say too much because I don't want to spread the misinformation, Craig,
which is the theme of today's show.
That's right.
Mm-mm.
So now we can get into the meat and the potatoes of the show after chatting about it and getting off on a tangent.
That happens sometimes. It's okay.
27 minutes. So yeah, we landed on Mars in the last week, and a lot of people celebrating, cheering on. I've been fascinated by space my whole life. I just have always been. Haven't you, Craig? Been fascinated by space?
Yeah, space is something that I've always been really interested in. I look up at the stars pretty much every time I go outside at night, and I look up there and I say, "Wow, there's stuff out there. That's crazy." I love space.
Mystery of the universe. And so that said, I haven't been paying attention because all of a sudden one day I found out that we had landed on Mars. So I haven't been paying that close attention.
It's really bizarre that out of nowhere they'll be like apparently they're sending up ships to space all the time. And I remember, obviously times have changed dramatically, but like a space shuttle launch was a big deal. And now they have the SpaceX, they do these space shuttle launches that you literally, they start streaming them like 2 days beforehand, and they're just live streamed all the way up through this thing going into space. And it's crazy to watch. It's insane to watch. But they happen like all the time, and they're on YouTube, and millions and millions of people will watch them, and people still think there's a flat earth and stuff. It's nuts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So people are having a little bit of a little space mania going on online. People getting back into space, and a lot of pictures floating around out there right now that I keep seeing pop up in my feeds. And I saw one the other day, and it was a picture of what was his name? Bruce McCandless. And this picture is from 1985, I think. He was like one of the first astronauts to float in space without being tethered to the ship. So there's this photo of him floating off in the distance, and it's a very powerful photo. But I was looking at this photo online now. This just seems like way too crystal clear and perfect of a photo. So I looked into it. I went to NASA's website, and I found the original. So if you've been sharing this photo on the internet, you've been sharing misinformation. I put the two side by side. This is my PSA for the day. So the viral picture on the left is being shared by thousands of people right now. And this is an old picture, but the actual picture is on the right there. That's the official NASA photo right there. And you can double check this. This is the actual website. This is him right here. There's the photo. And I was just fascinated by this from a misinformation perspective, because this photo, along with the other ones I'm going to share with you, are being shared all day, every day, hundreds of thousands of shares, but they're not being flagged by fact checkers and misinformation notifications and stuff. It's just out there, and people are like, wow, that's so beautiful. That's great. And the viral picture, admittedly, is a lot more fascinating. It's a lot more vibrant. It captures your imagination a little bit more because it pops. And, obviously the official NASA photo is breathtaking as it is, because you look at it and you're like, whoa. But somebody had to take it to oh gosh, who's James Bay? They had to like level it up.
Michael Bay?
Michael Bay, James Bay. Michael Bay, the filmmaker. They had to sort of level it up, right? It wasn't good enough as it was that NASA has this accomplishment,
right,
in this photo documented. But somebody was like, you know what? I think that Earth could look better, and so they changed it. So I thought that was interesting. And
then well, I think the big thing is like, if people are passing around a picture, a viral pic. I guess the question is like, what is misinformation and what's just a lie, or what's a meme? Where's the line drawn between, because in my mind, a lie is misinformation. That's literally, I mean, I pulled it up here real quick. I pulled up the definition of misinformation, and it's misinformation, wrong information, false account, or intelligence, untrue or incorrect information, right? Like that is exactly what it is. Misinformation is a lie, and this is a lie.
Yeah, it's absolutely not. It's based in truth, but it's not. There's an official NASA photo, then there's a viral picture, and it was shared. I first saw it on like a space Facebook page, like it was a specifically like a space focused page. So I'm like, well, that's pretty amazing. Like nobody's called them out on this. Now there were people commenting, as did I, saying like, hey, this isn't the actual one.
Right.
But at that point, it doesn't matter, because the one that's being shared is the one that's already gone through everybody's psyche, and it's glorified what was already supposed to be something that was grand.
Sure.
So I saw that. Now the second thing I saw was this, and this is a 360 view of Mars that's being shared on Facebook. And the guy comments like right down below it. It says, disclaimer, the original photo does not have the full sky. I edited the sky to have the full 360 experience inside a VR headset like Oculus Quest 2. The sky does not represent the real sky from Mars. This is an art. Thank you so much for all the love. But you know what? It doesn't matter that he commented that. People are sharing it. There's no notification, on the post by an official fact checker that says, hey, but people, they glance over this stuff and then they go, wow, look at the stars. Right. And that's the most fake part of the whole picture, right? The guy added those in and he just created his own little optical illusion there.
Mars is amazing.
Yeah. Like Mars is, like, why do we have to keep upping the idea of what we're sharing with each other?
Like the idea of going to Mars is like,
not good enough.
I'm sorry. We're going to go to another planet for the first time.
Yeah.
It's that Drake, the Drake image.
Yeah.
How about we do this one,
Yeah. Mars, fake Mars.
That's right.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing?
So that's kind of funny to see that, because again, here it is right here. Got my Facebook pulled up, but this was the actual one, and you can see he commented, and I believe he now says like, look, it says edited by the guy. But it's crazy. So moving on, this was the next one I saw. This was a photo that's supposed to be it is an unreal Mars skyline. I saw other people sharing this. This is supposed to be Earth, Venus, and Jupiter lined up. And people sharing it, going, "Isn't space amazing?" Well, this is not exactly a true picture.
This is the Nevada desert.
Yeah. Well, it looks pretty close. I mean, I like the first thing that stuck out to me was like, that looks like there's clouds there. Are there clouds on Mars? I don't know. So this guy says, pretty, isn't it? You can find endless copies of it online. Just search for the term Mars Skyline. It's been picked up by tons of Tumblrs and other social media accounts. But yeah, there's just one problem. It's not real. I knew right away it wasn't legit, but it's hard to say exactly how. I've run into this problem before. I have a lot of experience looking at space images, and you just get a sense of what's real and what isn't. This one screams fake. And basically, he points down to this little NE thing here, as in northeast. And he says, this is exactly what you see when you use planetarium software on a computer to display the sky. Programs like Starry Night, Sky Safari, and so on put the cardinal directions, north, south, and so on, along the horizon to indicate what direction you're looking. So this was like boom, 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 3 things in a row where I was like, maybe I've got that sense, because I like space so much, to be able to look at something and go like, I don't know, that in my gut, that feels wrong. So yeah, I put on my fact checker hat and I was like, I'm signing up for Facebook fact checking service today.
But the whole thing about this is like we're kind of poking fun of the whole misinformation thing because these are all lies and they're all viral pictures, right? And they've been passed around. But Smartlight points out the biggest fact check of all, the biggest misinformation of all, that Instagram models take thousands of pictures and only share one heavily edited one, right?
Yes. Thank you, Smartlight. I just said that to you before the show. I said, if you've ever taken a photo and put a filter on it at all, you've provided misinformation to the internet. Right. Because what you've done is, everybody adds to a more ridiculous degree, like dog faces and these face swap pictures and stuff. But at the same time, everybody's going like, you got people that adhere to, like just the other day, I was called out on my Facebook. That was like, I think you're spreading misinformation. I was like, no, I'm not. But these people adhere to these rules, and they're like posting blame on other people, but at the same time sharing, glossed over dog faces and weird stuff. And like, well, man,
right,
you're doing it.
It's funny. Astronerd over here. Astronerd is obviously super into space and stuff. He's over here just talking about all sorts of stuff. If you follow space stuff, that was way too low. He went a little too far out in the sky. Mars sky would look similar to Earth's. Then clouds would not be thick. It would not be thick on Mars. Mars atmosphere is 1% as thick as Earth. Thank you, Astronerd. Appreciate that. Your name stands up.
That's right. That's cool.
Man,
thanks for sharing that with us today.
Yeah, it's fascinating, and I think that's, maybe we should start our own independent service where we fact check Instagram photos. Wouldn't that be amazing? Where we could just go through and you have the unfiltered Instagram, the unfiltered Instagram photo is the only one that could even remotely be considered possible as not misinformation.
You have to hashtag your photos no filter.
Yeah.
To legitimize yourself. Like, hey, I didn't post misinformation. Hashtag no filter. But yeah, what really stuck out, this wasn't even really about space for me. It was just a series of photos about a certain topic that kept popping up. And I was just like, how come this isn't flagged? Like, what do these social media giants, how do they decide what gets flagged and what doesn't? We went through a ton of that this last political season, between what was real, what's misinformation.
Still happening.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Things, what's his name? That Steven Crowder just got flagged today for something that he shared. And he's insisting that it had to do with the election. I haven't looked into the story very much, but I saw it pop up. And he's sharing specific information about the election that he's found out. It's already been flagged by Twitter. They locked the post so people can't comment. And it seems like obviously with politics, social media will jump on it. They will strangle that post.
I think the most fascinating thing about the Steven Crowder thing is if so the long and short of it is he took some voting. He had an intern in Nevada, and the intern went out and went to physical addresses of addresses that places where people said they were registered, their address where they lived, right? And he went to places that went to like an underpass that was an address. Nobody obviously lived there. He was going to like open fields that were this addresses, and there was no building there. He went to one that was like between two houses. It was like 1919 and 1923, and they're looking for 1921. And they're like, yeah, 1921 doesn't exist, right? So because they asked the neighbors and stuff. So like. My thing about that is like, okay, that's cool. He's obviously doing his own research, right? That's great. But how does Twitter know that these things aren't real? How can you say no when
Twitter now has to send their own person to follow step by step what Crowder's person would have done,
right,
to justify that, because you and I always talk about standards, right? And if you're going to set the standard, if you're going to set the bar there and say, well, they're wrong, we know, then it's on them to show that they know, right? It's on Twitter now, whoever's behind that decision to go, well, we know because we actually sent our own intern out on the field to go to every single one of those addresses, and they were real. So it's crazy because we do it all the time with politics. It's like they'll just grab the post, whatever it is, and strangle it to death until it just goes away and is deleted, if they don't want it there. But if it's space, or what else can we casually talk about? What can we get away with that's okay? That might be misinformation that should be, maybe marked or checked if we're going to go down this road. Now, let me say this real quick.
Okay.
I don't agree with fact checking. I don't think we need it, right? Maybe sometimes, not to the degree that we're going at it right now, because it's kind of like our last episode where we're talking about putting notifications on TV channels. We do not need to be handheld through our life like this and what we're seeing every single time something pops up in front of our face. So go ahead.
I don't even know what I was going to say. I don't even know what I was going to say. But yeah, it's some dumb one is right. He says, why are people still giving credence to social media platforms? Anything that can let one person use 1,000 bots to share their opinion 1,000 times over should be seen as more satire than fact. Right. But the thing is, like, there's such a large amount of people that are on these social media platforms that, I was talking to my wife about this. I was like, I left Twitter, and I've had literally zero regrets from leaving Twitter. As a matter of fact, it's made my life so much better. Right. And I encourage anybody who is on Twitter, YouTube, Facebook. Well, YouTube's kind of tough because it's like, video platform and stuff.
Well, you got Weekdays with Craig and Brad on YouTube.
Right.
So,
but maybe we'll do BitChute and other stuff as well. But with that said, I was talking to my wife about this, and I was like, I think you should get off Facebook. And the reason why people are scared to get off Facebook is the same reason I was scared to get off Twitter, is they fear they're going to lose their connections to people. They're going to lose the ability to reach out. And really what it comes down to is, like, people are snoopy. They want to snoop. They want to lurk from a distance and just keep an eye on people, and they may not want to comment, but scrolling down and looking at a little baby picture of a lady that you haven't seen in 15 years who just had a kid makes you feel good. And you go, oh, that's nice. And then you get a little dopamine hit, and you're like, oh, it's nice. But the reality is that just people they're too scared to step away because they think they're going to lose their social life. And that's the saddest statement of them all.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Losing your social life through a level of social gathering that's not even real.
Right. And it's not real. And That's the most fascinating thing. It's if the people really cared about you that you followed, like that's the one thing I did when I got off. I DM'd all my friends and I was like, hey, give me your phone number, give me your email. And here's my phone number, here's my email. This is how you can get a hold of me. Right.
Mhm.
This is how you need to get a hold of me. Get a hold of me this way.
Mhm.
And I got them. So now if I need to get a hold of anybody, I can do it. It's really pretty easy. So if people really need to get a hold of me, they can, hit me up on Discord or text me or whatever. And if they needed to, I've done it, and it's been great, and vice versa. But people are legitimately afraid. You're tied to the idea of social media. You're tied to your social life and losing those friends. And legit, I'm telling you right now, from experience, who had 35,000 friends on Twitter, it doesn't matter. Whether you have 35 friends or 350,000 friends, it doesn't matter. You can drop it like a bad habit and you will be so much better. And I know that,
Yeah, you just get your ducks in order. There's obviously people you want to stay connected with. And then you say, hey, look, I'm going to get off of here, but I really like you. Here's my phone number. Here's my email. Let's hang out sometime, And then
Hal says, yeah, but how do you, but now you have to talk to people in order to know what they are up to. Right. Right. You have to I don't know, communicate and stuff.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing. So,
well, I got a phone call from someone the other day that I hadn't spoken with, and I was like, they texted me and they said, hey, you got a minute to chat? And so I was like, yeah. And so I gave them a call. I thought they had like a question for me about something, maybe wanted some advice on something. Give them a call. Hey, what's up? Hey, how you doing? And we end up chatting for about 30 minutes, catching up on everything that we're doing. And I was like, did you have any reason for, was there something that we hadn't talked about yet that you needed to make this call? I was like, no, we hadn't talked in a while. I thought I'd give you a call and talk. And I was like, oh, well, that's really nice.
and doesn't it make you feel good? Right.
Yeah, right. Like, okay, well, yeah, we should do this more often.
Right.
And, people used to do that. They'd call each other on the phone. They would send letters to each other. Our parents used to do this back in the day before we were born, but I have these records now on record, cassette tapes. They would make a recording on a cassette tape and just talk for 30 minutes about what they've been up to, put it in the mail, send it to somebody, and then the person receiving it would record on the other side of the cassette tape and send it back to them. And obviously we can do FaceTime and stuff right now, but that's a cool, fun idea, because you don't know what you're going to get. It's kind of like, ooh, I got this actual tangible thing in the mail with a special message on it that I have to, have something to play it on. And it's not just a throwaway text message. That's like the poop emoji. It took time and effort to get to you and for them to make it and stuff. But I digress because this is about misinformation.
No, someone says, I find it strange that most of us recognize how unhealthy these platforms are, yet most people still use it despite knowing it. Has anyone else ditched social media as I did? That's a great point. It's like people who know that eating a cheeseburger or drinking Coke every day is really bad for you, but we still do it. It's the same type of thing. It's social media is junk food for your brain. That's really all it is. So,
yeah.
Sorry. Hal says, my teenage niece has recently lamented how everything, quote, feels fake. The likes from people she'll never meet, the incentive to post meaningless stuff to get a fake following, of fake friends. It all felt fake to her. I sympathize wholeheartedly. Wow.
That is a great great perspective, because we're spending this time, right? We're being attacked through social media on what's misinformation, what's not misinformation, what's true, what's not true. The entire thing is fake. The entire presentation is fake. What you decide to reveal to people through your posts is you're creating misinformation about who you are and who your life is. You're choosing what you get to share with people. And it's funny. I made a funny quip a few months back where I was like, because I was getting frustrated with Facebook tagging so many things as misinformation. I said, Facebook is neither a face nor a book, rendering it completely and utterly false information altogether.
Misinformation. Yes.
Misinformation. Yeah. And it's just funny because I like to take things as literal as we can sometimes, just to poke fun.
Well,
But
Colin says the only thing social media did for me was bring out the worst in me because I was in a small town. Was because I was a small town peaceful guy introduced to into this massive toxic world of crazy people. There's truth in that, but you're not even seeing their real selves. You're seeing the fake version of them, which is the most fascinating thing about it. You're seeing the fake version of these people, the amplified version. The people that would say something about you but never say it to your face.
Well, it's like I've noticed an awesome decline of people sharing food over the last couple years on the on the internet. But you think about something as simple and mundane as sharing food. What kind of food did you share? Oh, only the best food, as if you were always eating only the best food.
Yeah.
Like, check out this amazing meal. Oh man, every time they post a meal, it's always awesome. But you're not sharing with them the Totino's pizza that you just baked,
Right.
or the bagel bites that you microwaved that taste like rubber. Yeah.
All right, man. Sorry, my jaw is on fire tonight. You guys know I'm gonna have to get my jaw broken. I am. I'm gonna have to get. I'm gonna have to get it broken.
Bust it for you.
I'm gonna have to go in and get a doctor. They're probably gonna break my jaw, and I'm probably gonna have to talk like this for a few months while my jaw resets. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I don't know when
Those
that's
will be
gonna
some
happen.
good shows.
They're gonna be great.
She'll be like in a neck brace. I'm Craig. Yes, I'm really rad.
Well, I'll tell you what. Once again, if anybody would like to help support the show, go to patreon.com/Craig Skits. You can support your boys, and that'd be a great way to help pay for that jaw breaking I'm eventually going to have.
2 big goals for this show. Brad needs new internet, and Craig needs a new jaw. Help us out over on Patreon.
Your internet, your stream is pretty good outside of when you're uploading. So
yeah, I tried. I've kind of mastered the art of not doing anything on my computer during the show because it can seriously hamper the quality here.
All right, guys, make sure you guys, if you are new to the channel, you made it this far, make sure you subscribe. It's always great to see you guys. And of course, thumbs up if you can. And you know what we haven't done yet? Of course, we have not.
I'm Al Gore, the voice of your generation. Young people today, let me ask you this. How can we party? The earth is so big. Can we party? I'm Al Gore, the voice of your generation. Party.
You know what my favorite thing about this is?
What's that?
Is that at the end of the song, his drumsticks just disappear.
That's my quality animations there. My favorite part of that is his head just flying towards you at the end.
Yeah, it's a little over the top, but whatever. Some dumb one also came in with Prime for 5 months. Says thanks as always for the great conversation. Hey, thank you very much. Appreciate that. Vilter says figure out the next Bring It Back challenge, Craig. doing it. We'll have something for you guys on Monday. But for now, make sure you guys once again hit the follow button if you haven't yet. Comments and. At the end of the show, I will be going live over at twitch.tv/Craig Skits. I promise that for sure. We started yesterday's show late. It's my fault because I didn't set it to premiere. But make sure you guys come on over and join me at twitch.tv/Craig Skits. I'll be going live very shortly. And guys, thank you very much for tuning in live over on the Twitch channel. Once again, we'll be live next week starting Monday on YouTube and on Twitch at the same time. It's going to be a good one. Have a great day, guys. I'll see you guys later. And bye-bye.